from the shimmer of light. In the workshop he felt safe to the broken glass. In the streets reflecting her fright. Desperation can set the stage for acts of villainy. And heroes may need to confront their demons in more ways than one. For a choice to be made, you must overcome the binding and twining of souls are bound. So strong that they just keep you both on top. Yes, you. What will you do when the call for action beckons you to choose? Yes, you. What will you be? A hero, a villain, or a monster indeed?
Good morning, afternoon, or evening, and welcome to Arcadia Fallen, where we have a bit of a situation going on here. The ground shakes and shadows grow longer as the realm of reality seems to shift and bend and finally crack. The seal breaks.
This can't be.
No!
Demons!
Get away from me!
Look out! The streets crack and people are screaming and fleeing in all directions as demons purr from the dark? Should that be pour? Well, I mean, maybe they're purring. Who knows?
We failed.
I mean, yeah, we need a plan. And somehow we will stop you. Let's go with determined. We will stop you. We're going to
stop you, Ronan.
Oh, she did actually say it. It just took a while.
Don't be foolish, child. It's time to go.
Elizabeth steps in front of you protectively.
Get out of here while you can. I'll hold him back.
Elizabeth?
Elizabeth, that's way too dangerous. You can't... It's okay. I'm sorry. But you are still my apprentice. Trust me on this.
Oh, such a moving scene. I'm sorry I have to cut it short.
Ronan gestures with his hand, and you watch as demons come flying out and surround you and your companions.
I won't let you.
Commander?
Get out of here, Victoria. Someone must report back to Eridas what's happened.
But...
Elizabeth is right. I might not always have been the best teacher for you, but you're still my student. Take the alchemist and go.
Understood. Olithia.
Don't think you can talk me out of this now, Elizabeth.
I know. I wouldn't dare challenge you.
Elizabeth throws a vial onto the ground, and light explodes, making everyone stumble back, blinded.
Come on!
Mime grabs you by the hand, and you're surprised by the strength with which she pulls you through the crowd. Elizabeth isn't following you, instead throwing you a wink before disappearing into the smoke. You wind through the crowds of panicking townsfolk. It only takes a moment, and you're swept away by the tide. Mime's hand in yours is the only thing keeping you steady as you make for the forest. Chapter 6, and I didn't have time to read what it actually said. But yeah, we're in chapter 6 now. You run and run until you can't run anymore. Ancient tree crowns stretch high above you, shrouding everything in darkness as Mime leads you forward. Everyone's gone. Lost in the chaos of your escape, the two of you now stumble through the forest alone. You trip and fall to your knees, and Mime crouches down in front of you, her big eyes wide with concern.
Are you okay?
Wow. Vengeance or despair. This is dark. This is very dark. I mean, we're not going to despair. We're going to go for vengeance. Your resolve solidifies and your confidence swells into the burning rage of vengeance, filling your limbs with molten fire.
That guy.
He will pay for this. Ronan will pay for what he's done. Mime is silent, watching you apprehensively. Perhaps we should just take a moment to calm down, to think. I don't recognize this part of the forest. We must have been running for a while. So I guess that means we're lost. Not that we were really going anywhere, so I guess technically we aren't lost. We kinda do have to go back though. We have to face the demons and help Elizabeth and Alethea.
This is it.
It was a mistake to leave. We should have stayed to fight.
Whoa!
Don't say that. You saw what happened. The seal was broken completely by Ronan, and all the demons escaped. There was nothing we could have done against such an opponent. There's a rustle in the leaves and you both freeze, shifting closer together. What was that? A shape emerges from the forest, an ominous feeling washing over you, suffocating you. You have felt powerful magic before, but the crushing presence of the shadow before you is unlike anything from this realm. Almost like it isn't mortal magic at all. The king of the forest? Mime breathes, and the being steps closer, and your breath catches. He is a tall being, much taller than any human you know. Dark, empty eye sockets of a deer skull stare back at you, and you shiver, terror running through your body. Mime, get behind me.
Mime.
You order and step in front of her, but Mime doesn't look as concerned as you. Instead, she stares at the frightening being with rapt curiosity.
I wonder.
It's okay. I don't think he means to hurt us. The deer god turns and motions for you to follow him down the path.
Huh?
It looks like he wants us to follow. Let's see where this goes.
I'm ready.
Hopefully somewhere safe. You follow him silently, Mime sticking closely to your side. The sun goes down and the woods turn dark as you follow the god through his realm. In here, the trees grow taller and thicker, stretching above you into a suffocating dome, and then tiny lights begin to peek out from within the leaves and branches. They glow like lanterns, illuminating the path ahead.
Huh?
What's that over there? Mime looks ahead in wonder as the deer comes to a halt in front of a clearing. Looking out, you see a small building nestled among the trees. An inn. The deer god turns to Mime and then leans down, pressing his skull against her forehead. You move to stop him, but he doesn't hurt her, just stands. Then he rises again and walks off into the trees. Are you okay, Mime?
Are you okay?
Huh?
I'm fine. He just wished us a good journey.
I wonder.
It's strange. I have this feeling like he's someone familiar to me, like a father. But that's just crazy thoughts. It's all the adrenaline speaking. But this here should be a place we can be safe. That's what he said at least, so let's go inside. You walk inside the inn and are hit by warm air and the scent of hearty foods and mulled wine. Patrons are milling about the many tables, laughing boisterously and talking excitedly. Like a party of old friends catching up after a long year.
Good evening, dear alchemist.
Hello, Rune.
So this is where your tale took you. How interesting.
It's good to see you again.
It's good to see you, Rune. It's been a long day, so a friendly face is comforting.
Yeah.
The pleasure's all mine. I was just here to check in with another legend of mine. It seems her tale has finally come to a close, so I wanted to get all the final details.
Oh, final details, huh? So she has passed away then? That doesn't really sound nice. It sounds like she's passed away, but I don't really have that kind of a choice here. That sounds nice.
That sounds nice. Did she have a happy ending?
That's yet to be seen. For now, let's focus on your story, yes? You have, after all, managed to wander quite far away from home. Welcome to the Merry Sparrows Inn, the final transit stop for heroes' souls before they pass on to the afterlife.
Wait. These people are ghosts?
Indeed. Why so surprised? You're a spirit yourself, are you not?
Ghosts and spirits are not the same. Ghosts can be super vengeful and haunt you for the rest of your life. Also, they are creepy.
I can assure you none of these ghosts are out to get revenge on anyone. Only the souls of those who have lived a life of adventure can enter this place. The kind that has grand tales of heroism to leave behind. I can introduce you to some of them, if you'd like.
Sure. I'm kind of sensing a theme here, you know, with the spirits. Am I a spirit now as well?
I'm starting to sense a theme here. And the theme is that I keep dying.
Yep.
I would like to state for the record that it wasn't my fault. This time.
I can dispel that misunderstanding.
The misunderstanding being that it wasn't Mime's fault, or...
You are not dead.
Oh,
While this is a place to celebrate the end of a long journey, the Sparrow does like to open his doors on special occasions.
What does that mean?
The heroes in this place have seen many things. Tragedy, triumph. They carry with them a well of knowledge. Sometimes, when a traveler like yourself stumbles, the wise words of someone who's been there before will put you back on the right path. If you wish, you may go see what knowledge they offer.
sure. Let's talk about the king of the forest, though.
We met someone strange who led us here. A man with a deer skull for a head. Do you know about him?
The king of the forest escorted you here himself?
Yep.
That is quite the honor.
Okay. What about the ghosts?
Wait. So, if these people are ghosts, what does that make us?
You're not dead, if that's what you're concerned about.
Yeah, we already went over this.
That's a relief.
The inn is a safe haven for heroes. Its doors are always open to heroes in need of a bit of guidance. And you, my friend, look like a lost soul if I've ever seen one.
The sparrow?
Who is the sparrow?
That would be the innkeeper. He is a patron for all heroes' tales, one of the three gods of mortal stories.
The three gods?
Gods of storytelling? I've never heard about that before.
Few know about them these days, but the Empire's clutches can never reach them in here. The sparrow is for the hero's tale. Those stories that live on forever. The raven for the quiet tales. Those that will fade away with those who experience them. And finally, the nightingale, who watch over the storytellers, the bards, the artists, the mother sitting on the edge of her child's bed. Together, they watch over the death and legacy of all mortals in this realm.
Okay, so what about the heroes?
What did you mean when you said heroes?
Why don't you ask one yourself? Come, I'll make the introductions.
Rune takes you through the crowded tavern, winding through patrons speaking animatedly until he pauses in front of one who's distinctly quiet. The man is sitting by himself, sipping from his drink, smiling lazily at the merriment going on around him.
Good evening, Rixus.
Oh, Rune? Back for more wild tales, are you?
Something like that.
Rune nudges you forward.
The alchemist here was just passing through and could use a bit of wisdom to guide her forward. Do you mind sharing a little?
The man laughs heartily, placing down his cup.
I think...
Wisdom? I think you've got the wrong guy for that, but sure, I can tell the kid a story.
I'm Rixus.
Happy to be of service, kid. So, we were talking about a story?
What do you mean?
A curious one, huh?
Let me tell you.
You're here because your world just kicked you in the face, right? I've been there, oh believe me I have, but I managed to pick myself up from the dirt.
But you see...
I never wanted to be a hero. I was living a quiet life as a merchant, trading wares near the port of Verstad, when I was falsely accused of committing fraud. The woman who framed me was another merchant who didn't much care for the competition from some nobody mage spawn. She had connections to a prominent blue blood official who easily swallowed the idea of my crime. I never stood a chance. I lost everything, had to leave my home, my business, my family.
Oh.
How horrible.
I think...
It was a hopeless situation indeed. I was one commoner against the system that had cleaned... and that had deemed me a villain. Most sane people would have cut their losses and moved on, but I couldn't do that. So... what did you do then?
I wonder.
I needed a plan.
Let me tell you.
I took all my anger and pain and let it drive me forward. I spent a year planning my revenge. Scheming, gathering intelligence, and training for the job I had to carry out. I entered the noble official's estate and relieved him of some accounting books he wasn't too keen on sharing. Dumped them at the doorstep of a rival noble and then just sat back and watched as the vultures ripped him to shreds. As for the merchant, it turned out I hadn't been the first competitor she had been holding down with deceit and threats. Once she lost her connection to the elite, the other merchants turned against her. Turns out the allies you make by blackmail are not very loyal in the end. And that seems fitting. For the con man to be conned.
Indeed.
It felt great, not gonna lie about that. But once it was done, I noticed something even greater.
But you see...
I think the thirst for revenge gave me a boost to pick myself up, but once I succeeded, it wasn't pain that kept me going. It was knowing I'd done something to prevent someone else from ending up in the place I did.
It's a simple kind of pleasure, knowing you've made a change to the world.
Things might seem dark now, but I swear it's worth it in the end. Rune steps up to squeeze your shoulder.
Thank you for the story, Rixus.
Anytime, buddy. He laughs, picking up his drink again, holding it up for you in a toast. Good luck, kid. I'll be looking forward to hearing your story once you return to this place. You leave Rixus behind, Rune smiling to himself as you head towards another corner of the inn.
So this place is like a club for heroes?
Indeed.
Why would he want to share his story with us, though? What's the point?
To reminisce. Mostly. These people are a nostalgic bunch, but also to inspire. Come, there's someone else I'd like for you to meet.
Rune walks up to a tall guy in finely polished armor.
Darius, do you have a moment?
He turns and your eyes widen. Reptile eyes stare back. You've never seen anything quite like it before. Dragon.
You're quite perceptive.
Most visitors don't recognize my kind anymore.
Darius Dunga, at your service.
So what are you doing here?
What?
So far I've only seen humans in this place. Some exceptions were made on my behalf. The sparrow is a great fan of tales of friends facing down obstacles together, and he didn't want to split me from mine. The dragon motions with his hands to a table behind you, where 5 people are sharing a laugh over cups of mead. They are a colorful bunch, but all distinctly human.
Really?
These are your friends? But I thought humans and dragons were not very friendly. I mean...
That is true.
There was a great war, yes. The dragons did not like the emergent human race pressing at their borders and so sought to end it. I disagreed with my people's decision and changed sides to aid the humans.
Huh?
What happened?
It all began when...
I had learned the location of one of the great dragon generals. A cruel, ruthless killer who had no intention of seeing the war come to an end. I wanted to gather a team to take him out, but not many humans were keen to trust a dragon deserter, and so I ended up with those 5.
Things didn't go as planned.
Through our travels, we formed bonds, made memories, and shaped the world for the better, but when we finally arrived to face down the general, we weren't ready.
No.
He was too strong, effortlessly laying waste to our plans. He was toying with us, and when we were defeated and prone before him, he made us an offer. We could go if we left one behind. What did you do?
You see...
At the moment, it seemed like escape was impossible. So a choice had to be made.
No.
For me, it was an easy choice. I was the one who convinced them to join me. I had to be the one taking the fall. But the dragon didn't want me. He picked someone else. Maddie.
You see...
She was the smallest of us all, but she kept her head high as she stood before the general.
But then...
I thought we had lost, and then she pulled a magic feather from within her cloak and summoned the spirit of a giant eagle to come to our aid. It was such an absurd and fantastical trick to pull, and somehow her defiance in the face of death, it inspired us. I and our other fighter Mal jumped onto the eagle's back, and from the air we fought with renewed strength. Wolfgar, bless his soul, cast spells to heal our wounds, and Mirasev created a distraction to draw the dragon's fire with illusions of hundreds of ravens. Finally, Uriala used the spell to create a giant magical fist that punched out the lights of our enemy. We won. That's quite the story.
That's amazing.
It certainly didn't feel like it in the moment, but now, millennia later, it was quite a feat. That day,
I learned to put trust in my friends.
Their ideas might have been unorthodox and downright mad, but they saved me, saved us all.
Thank you for the story, Darius.
Anytime, Rune. The dragon bows his head and walks off toward the table with his friends. More laughter and cheerful conversation rise up from them.
This is all pretty crazy. So all the heroes just live here?
Eventually, the patrons of the inn move on to the afterlife. Some stay longer than others, but eventually, they all move on.
Where do they go?
Who knows? That's not my jurisdiction, as no one has ever lived to tell the tale. How are you feeling?
Comforted, I think, because there are people here who have beaten the odds.
I feel better now, somehow. This place, these people. It's very calming.
Huh. I'm glad you feel that way. The inn is a place of magic, but even magic can't fix everything. Humans are complicated. Your souls are fragile, yet strong. I think, in time, you will come to terms with what has happened. As for here and now, I think there's someone here who wants to see you.
Okay, so it's been like 30-ish minutes, and I feel like this inn thing is not over quite yet, so we'll continue from here. In the next episode, we'll see who exactly there is that wants to see us here. But for now, thank you so much for watching and spending a little of your time with me here today. It was lovely to have you. Please remember to be kind to yourself. Have a lovely rest of your day, and I will see you again next time.